Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another before and after. So today we'll be looking at Game Night, and I honestly don't have much to say about this one. It just looks like a rather fun movie. I mean, it's an action comedy about game night. Come on, that looks like it's gonna be fun. And it does have a lot of actors in it that I haven't seen much of, admittedly, but from what I have seen, they are very good. So, yeah, honestly, I'm rather excited to go see this. It's just that I don't have that many opinions on the trailer. It's fine for what it is, but really it kind of leaves the story a bit vague, especially to me, in the fact that they think that a kidnapping is going to be a murder mystery. Don't know how that works. Seriously, they're just told in this trailer, yeah, okay, so one guy's been taken and you had to solve it. And they're just like, oh yeah, murder mystery, because obviously that's what the word taken means. It obviously means homicide. Duh. Yeah, that's really my main point of confusion in this, and also that the plot's a little bit vague. I mean, yeah, okay, it obviously revolves around, obviously the kidnapping revolves around the guy who, well, got them all here and got them to do this, but still, I mean, other than that, it's rather vague as to why and who is kidnapping him, and also why they are the only ones that can solve it. Why not just go to the police with this? I'm just saying, but yeah, overall it does look rather fun, and again, the actors in this is definitely what's selling me on it. I'm a rather big fan of Jason Bateman, despite having not seen much of his work. I've seen him mostly in Arrested Development and Zootopia, but I will say he is a lot of fun on those. There's something about his sort of dry humor that really sells him to me as a comedian, and I think that really does, I think that's really just what makes him work. And I've seen at least one thing from most of the other actors in this that actually did go through the whole entire actors list filmography. I've at the very least seen one out of all the actors, but 5 of them's project. Yes, I kept count for some reason because I was really bored just like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, don't know why I did that actually. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure it was just done out of boredom. However, I also saw one guy that I did not see in this trailer anywhere, which really disappoints me, but I am so glad that I saw was in this. Michael C. Hall. I really like him on Dexter. Yeah, okay, I'm a fan of Dexter. Haven't read the books though, but I have seen the whole show, and I mean, okay, yeah, after like season 2, it started going downhill. Maybe season 3. I mean, there's some good episodes there, and season 4 is alright, especially with him dealing with Rita and everything, but yeah, really to me, season 1 and 2, those are the best. And now I'm getting on to Dexter, but yeah, Michael C. Hall, I'm just a fan of him on Dexter, and maybe on Star Wars The Force of Evil, but that's not as good to me. I'm sorry, I don't like that show as much as everyone else does, kind of why I haven't been talking about this season all that much, and yeah, really, while I do like his role in that show, he plays a guy named Toffee. I'm sorry, I cannot take that seriously. But, yeah, still, I really do like him as an actor, despite, again, not having seen much of him. And, yeah, I will say that he is rather enjoyable, and definitely him and Jason Bateman being in a movie together about a game night action comedy. That just is enough to sell it for me, so yeah, really, it looks like a rather fun movie, and I've heard good things about it. I've read some rather good reviews, so yeah, I'm honestly looking forward to this. So yeah, there's not really all that much to say about it other than that, though, so yeah, I'll see you guys in the after part. So I've now gone back from watching Game Night, and first things first, I was wrong. It's actually season 5 of Dexter where he deals with everything that happened with Rita, not season 4. I apologize for that. Also, while we're on the topic of Dexter, this movie got me to rewatch the first season of it. I don't know if I'll keep on watching after season 2, but yeah, I did get me to rewatch it. So, yeah, Dexter things aside, this movie's about Max, who's nervous about his brother Brooks visiting because he's beating him at every turn and is more popular. And he beats him at a game night yet again, and his wife Fanny decides to help him finally win at the next one, which is hosted by Brooks, who makes it a murder mystery. And yes, they do actually say that's a murder mystery. Why that was cut out of the trailer, I have no idea. It's like 2 extra seconds. Would that really destroy the trailer's flow at all? Really, I just don't get it. Why cut that out? It makes it way more confusing. Because in the trailer, the way that it's said is, this guy gets kidnapped and you had to solve it in an hour. And then they're just like, oh, well, that's a murder mystery. However, in the movie, it's just like, this guy gets kidnapped and in an hour he'll be killed. And they're just like, well, it's a murder mystery then. That makes sense. The way that they say it in the movie makes sense. Here, in the trailer, it's weird. Why edit it like that? I just don't get it. Okay, so, yeah, minor nitpick about the trailer's odd editing choices aside, it just so happens that his latest job with the black market catches up with them on this very night, and everyone thinks it's a part of the game, so they search for him with things getting more dangerous along the way. Now, the story of this movie is very simple, and that's probably its biggest problem. Really, there's nothing overly complex about it, and yeah, if you're going into this wanting a little bit more complexity from your comedy, then yeah, you're not going to get that at all. However, if you went in like me and were just expecting something kind of fun, then you definitely will get that here. It's an enjoyable movie. However, yeah, the simple plot does bring it down a bit, as there's not really that many things that make it overly engaging, and that can be a bit of a problem at times. Especially when they try and pull twists, and really there's a lot of them, and yeah, most of them just aren't very good in my opinion. That said, it really does try and make up for that in the comedy department, which can either be a hit or a miss. Now, to be fair, most of them did get at least a little bit of a laugh out of me or out of the rest of the audience, and I will say there are some really funny jokes in here. However, there are also some that drag on way too long. It can just be boring or predictable, and really that's sort of where it sinks for me a bit. Honestly, the jokes here are very mixed to me, but still, there are enough of them to carry the rather lackluster story and pick it up a bit. So, yeah, I think the story does sort of even itself out. However, I do think that it needed a little bit more complexity to it to make it a little bit more interesting. But still, this is kind of a generic action comedy, so really I didn't expect that much of it, and for what it gave me, it's not bad in any sense. So for the characters, let's start off with Max. He's fine. Jason Bateman does a rather good job in the role, and honestly, he does have a bit of a competitive side to him, which helps him stand out a little bit, but that's really kind of it. There's nothing else to him outside of that. And really, he's just sort of the same as his wife, Annie. It's just she's a little bit less competitive and more focused on actually trying to be a parent. So then she can be really competitive at being a parent. They're good people, trust me. Yeah, really, their whole reason for wanting a kid is so then our kid can beat all the other kids. That's really their plan. They just want this kid to beat all the other kids. We're supposed to be on the side of these people? Yeah, actually, no. No, that actually is kind of a good reason for having kids. So, yeah, really, their whole reason for wanting a kid is just to beat other kids. And honestly, I think that was kind of actually really funny. But, yeah, overall, their characters are fine. It's just, like a lot of them here, it's mostly dependent on their performances, which is actually rather good. Most of the performances in this movie are very strong, and they're doing a really good job here. So that definitely does make up for some of the blandness of the characters. Like, Max is just sort of the protagonist. It's just that he's a little bit more competitive and sometimes self-centered. Annie is kind of the same, just a little bit less so in that regard. Brooks is competitive, however, he's also a rather bad person, honestly. And yet we're supposed to feel sorry for him or relate to him or just think that he's overall an okay person by the end, which no, he isn't. He did jobs for the black market, which, if I remember correctly, included human trafficking. Why are we supposed to be on this guy's side? I get that he's an okay person at heart, but that does not make up for what he did. I'm sorry. There is no way that after doing all of that, that he would just end up under house arrest for a little bit. I'm sorry. That just... God. I mean, I get that he did indeed trade things with the FBI and stuff in order to help get him to lower his sentence, but still, come on. This guy is not a good person. I mean, like, yeah, okay, he's fine and all. I mean, yeah, like I said, he is a nice guy at heart. It's just the way that he went about getting all of his money was really terrible, and they kind of overlooked that, which is a lot of a problem to me. And then there's his girlfriend, Dr. Chan. She's in this movie for like 2 scenes. I know that she's super important. That's why I brought her up. Yeah. So, yeah, her character is mostly just, hey, how's your brother like? Can I date him? I know I'm not a therapist, but I'm going to act like a therapist for my own selfish gain. Oh, okay, sweet. So, alright, so I'll make a little cameo at the end of the movie as his girlfriend in order to fulfill this little tiny plot point. As you can tell, her role in this film was very important. As for Sarah and Ryan, they're kind of fun, honestly. I like that one of them pretty much just sort of only dated a lot of really dumb girls, and then just sort of came around with one of them that wasn't, just in order to pull a twist on everyone. And yeah, honestly, Sarah's a rather good character in my opinion. I mean, okay, her falling in love with Ryan this quick was really, really weird. I mean, seriously, you spend a night with him and you almost die. Obviously, that means that you have now fallen for each other. That's just how it works. However, I do still like her character for the most part, and she is rather enjoyable. And also, I do like how she does actually offer a little bit of a nice comic relief to him, which he's mostly an idiot character, and she's kind of the opposite there, so they do work well off of each other. And yeah, Ryan, he can definitely have some funny moments. However, yeah, there are also still plenty of dumb moments from him that do kind of take away from him. However, I do like his odd obsession with rich people fight clubs and just sliding the money very slowly. Those are the moments that really got me for him. So, yeah, honestly, they're fine, but really their subplots don't really have that much of an impact on the movie. But they are still rather enjoyable for their own parts. And then there's Kevin and Michelle. Okay, so what's their subplot? Pretty much it's Michelle had sex with a rich guy at one point, and Kevin is upset about that. So you can tell it's very interesting. Yeah, it turns out that she didn't even have sex with a famous guy. It was actually just some guy that she thought was famous. So, yeah, I ruined that twist. I'm sorry about that. I know that you were all waiting to see the conclusion of that. But, yeah, really, their subplot's probably the most boring to me, as it's just them arguing about it for a while. And while they can get some good lines out of it, that's really kind of all they do. And then once that's resolved, that's kind of it for them. Actually, they kind of fade into the background after that, which is a bit of a shame, as I feel like they could have offered a bit more to this, but as is, they're fine. It's just they're rather bland and don't have that much going on, but still, again, the performances do carry them through here. And then there's Gary. I am pretty sure this guy will become a murderer in, I don't know, a week, maybe? Yeah, okay, so pretty much his wife left him, and pretty much he's been very upset about that, although apparently he was already a kind of weird guy from the offset, and now this has only been exacerbated by his wife leaving, and pretty much everything with him is a joke about him maybe being a serial killer, and I love it. Seriously, there are just some jokes here that really do shine, and just like these long holds on him really do work to me. They know exactly when to cut, and I just really found that to just be a lot of fun. Honestly, I just love the jokes with Gary here. He was really funny, and the actor did an amazing job in the role. And yeah, he's just a lot of fun in this. honestly, there's not that much to say other than that. I mean, like, yeah, okay, there is a twist with them in the middle, but it doesn't really go anywhere, honestly, and that is a little bit disappointing. They could have cut that out and nothing would have changed. However, for what he does contribute to the movie, I still really enjoy him for it. And then the only other character that's rather important is the Bulgarian, played by Michael C. Hall. He's barely in this. Yeah, okay, so now I know why he wasn't in the trailer. It's because his role in this movie is very small. It's really, really small. And yeah, that's a bit of a shame because really, I really like Michael C. Hall if I haven't made that abundantly clear yet. But man, he does not do much in this. But still, for what he does contribute, he does a rather good job. I do enjoy him in this. It's just there's so little of him in it, which is a bit of a shame to me. However, as is, he's fine. Which is something that I can say for all the characters. Now, yeah, most of them can be rather bland, and yeah, that definitely is a problem with them. However, I think that's either the performance or in certain directions that they go that does really pull them through. In the end, there are still some that aren't as interesting as the others, but still, I feel like they do make up for that for the most part. So for this movie overall, yeah, I don't really have that much to say on it. It's fine. It's a really fun movie, but not all that compelling story-wise and character. Because really, there are bit problems there, and really, I think that's just sort of what brings it down the most, is just either the characters or the story, which can be rather weak. However, it's the execution and performances that really do pull it through. And I think that's really what makes it stand out, is that it's a very bland movie when you get down to the technicals of it. However, it did so much execution-wise that I think that it makes up for that. So overall, it's a fun movie that I would watch a few more times probably. However, it's nothing too amazing, and I would say that you could probably wait for this on DVD, but still, for what it is, it's very fun. And there was definitely one scene that I want to talk about that really made it worth watching this in a theater. The scene where they're tossing around the Fabergé egg. It's a complete one-shot with them going around this whole house while being chased by security guards. It is a great shot. Now, maybe this is just because I'm a fan of one-shots because, well, those are always really good. Seriously, I love one-shots. Just there's something about just never cutting in between a scene or hiding the cuts so well that really makes it work to me, and I just really love things like that. I don't know, it's probably just me, although I do know there are a lot of people that still do it, so I guess I'm not the only one in this, but yeah, one-shots to me are always a great thing to see, and this movie is no exception to that. It has a really good one-shot in this movie, and it is so much fun. That was easily my favorite scene in this whole film. And yeah, that's just the sort of the scene I wanted to bring up because, yeah, I just love one-shots, and that was a really well done one. So yeah, for the movie overall, it's rather fun, and I would recommend that you give it a watch. It's just maybe wait till DVD. Yeah, I don't really think that'd be worth seeing it in theaters, unless, like, I don't know, you can watch it cheaper there, but as is, it is rather fun, and there are definitely some things that do make it worth seeing on the big screen. However, as is, it's still kind of generic in quality, but it's still execution and performances that do really make it work. So yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part, but yeah, there are still some problems with it, but those can easily be overlooked to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing to say spoiler-wise here, so yeah, bye. Oh, and rather minor and kind of pointless thing that I forgot to bring up, this movie also has 2 Queen songs, and since we're on the subject of music, the song Captain Jack played in this movie, and that was something that played on the radio while I was going to this movie. That, I don't know whether or not to find that cool or creepy, but yeah, the music choices in this movie are rather good. So, yeah, that was very important information. Alright, so before we got to the theater, we stopped at a store and we found this. Just awesome. I've read every single story in this, but I still need it. It's great. Awesome. So, what do you think that this movie is gonna be like?
I don't know much about it.
Neither do I. I know it has Jason Bateman and Michael C. Hall in it, and those are my selling points.
Like, I haven't seen the trailer, so...
You haven't seen the trailer either?
No.
Well, it's an action comedy about game night turned into a mystery thing where they had to, like, fight off a gang, I think? I don't know.
No.
And Jason Bateman's in it. Do you even know who he is?
No.
The dad on Arrested Development, like the main dad on Arrested Development.
There are many dads, a whole army of them.
Yeah, well, like the main one on it, the main character dad on it.
Yeah, main character dad.
Oh, or we could go see 50 Shades Freed. That's right over there. Could go and see that. Yeah, I mean, like, that's still an option. Wait, no, we can't, actually. I used my movie pass already.
God.
But we could have.
Yeah, rated X. Like,
I think it's rated R. Because, like, I've heard that's really soft porn. So, like, yeah, like, it's not intense even though it's supposed to be. Like, I've heard the most intense thing that they do is use ice cream in this movie. It's weird. So, yeah, ice cream sex movie.
what?
So, yeah, that's important.
I've heard they're bad. Like,
I've heard they're really bad. That's why I'm kind of curious to go see one.
Yeah.
Because I've heard, like, the movie theater, like, it's usually filled up with women who are like in their 50s or something, or like middle-aged to elderly, and they're like all in there just like, oh man, this is so sexy, and I'm just like, and like the other part is like some other women that came there and were just like out of boredom to go see it, sometimes a teenage girl in there, and then men who were dragged to it by their wives.
Aww.
Whether to make fun of it or to actually go and enjoy it. That's why I've heard that 50 Shades movie theaters are like, and I want to go see one of those audiences, but I know that my mom will never let me go into one of those. But we could have. What could have been?
The guy would have probably died halfway through it.
No, I've heard that he doesn't. I've heard there's a kidnapping story in there.
From it.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that there's a kidnapping story in it, though. Obviously. In the movie about sex, kidnapping story.
Wait, no, he kidnaps her,
No,
girl.
no. The girl's husband, Christian Grey's sister, is kidnapped. So his wife has to take care of it.
Did you sue it or something?
No, it's just that the guy calls her instead of him. Even though she's not the one with all the money. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. And now we were just talking about a movie that neither of us have seen. But yeah, anyway, game night over there. I can't get a good shot of the auditorium. So yeah, do you think it's gonna be good?
Hopefully.
Okay then.
One time I did listen to a dramatic reading for part of 50 Shades of Grey, and it was bad.
I'm pretty sure it is. I have not read outside. I've only heard a part on Nostalgia Critics Baby Geniuses 2 review of it, so yeah. But yeah, anyway, I guess we should end this part 'cause it's 3 minutes. Anyway, popcorn.
Younger.
What did you think about the movie?
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. Thoughts concluded. That was it. It was fun, guys. No, I'm thinking schizophrenia for Gary. I'm thinking that he had schizophrenia there.
And the dog's not real.
No, no, it's just like the voice in his head was personified as the dog. Okay.
The dog was trying to tell him that.
I don't know, that's just what I was thinking. By the way, we are out of popcorn now. I can't drop my phone in the popcorn this time. Yes, we're gonna get a refill though. So, yeah. What'd you think? Did you like it and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm just gonna drop my phone in the popcorn again.
Oh.